So, what have I been doing all these months? I have a lot of questions in my comment section throughout many videos. I wanted to take the time out to answer those questions. So, without further ado, this is going to be a questions and answers video. Hey everyone, this is Gil Surfagara back again with another video. It is about 6:30 in the morning for time check here in the Philippines. I'm in Davao City. So I'm going to answer these as best as I can, and I'm going to be using my iPad to go through these questions, and then somewhere over here I will post the question so you guys can see as well. So this is not in any important order and things like that. I'm just going to basically answer these questions. I really don't know how long this video is going to go, but like I said, hopefully it does help you guys. Oh, let me do a quick preface of this. I am now in Davao City, Philippines, so therefore I am no longer a independent courier. I am also no longer the operations manager for the previous independent courier business that I worked for. So I am full-time here in Turnkey, and because of personal reasons, my family, as with myself, I decided to find a job that was best suited for what I do and what I love to do, which is help people here in the Philippines. And I got super lucky with Turnkey Processing LLC, also known as Remarkabilism here in Davao City. And within that umbrella, there's Stormcrow Marketing as well as Remote Team Finder. So if ever you guys need assistance in searching for really solid office-based Filipinos to help with your business, please email me right here and I'll help you, or I will try my best to help you as best I can find the perfect person for you to help with your business, whether it be small admin work. We have some clients that deal in construction, so we have experienced project managers / estimators with us right now. We're going to be looking for specialists for recruitment in the health field as well. So whatever business you are into, just email me right here. We'll talk about it. Hopefully we can find the right person for you. One, save money for you and provide jobs here in the Philippines. So it's a win-win for everyone. So from D. Faisley says, what kind of vehicle insurance do you carry? So when I was an IC, independent courier, I pretty much got the 100, I think the 300, 100, 300, or the 100, 300, 100 coverage, which is like putting my insurance coverage here for you guys to see as to what my independent courier company asks for. Some of them will ask for an LLC along with other type of insurances and things like that, but my particular independent courier company did not ask for it. They just asked for this particular one right here. Hopefully that helps. And one from Raymond Picard Jr. Great topic here. Here's the comment right here. I am also looking to use my Ford Edge, and pretty much basically the concepts he would look for to be committed to a company. So these are really good concepts here. 7 of them actually. So having clear and set expectations, set form of 401k medical benefits, team, keep contractors involved with a company move that may affect their financial direction and or work-life balance, giving constructive feedback, inclusiveness, brief on meetings, company emails, etc., company competitive pay, and orientation process. So let's break this down one to one. So hopefully this might be the whole entire video. So with other IC companies that I have seen, many of them are, I'm not going to say fly by night, but many of them are just got to get the money, pick up the work and get the money type jobs. Some of them are pretty organized. The one I was with was pretty much on its way to becoming super organized. Great sets of people over there. A ton of work, but there's some reality that needs to be said here, right? So number one, having clear and set expectations. The company that I worked for before, Cardinal Messenger, the owner was very forthright and very open with everything from my perspective. And even me as an ops manager, I was the same way. I'm generally a just blunt person most of the time, just open and just, say what I have to say, but in a respectful manner. So I usually, when I'm interviewing people, I tell them straight out, what do you think you want to make? And let me give you the reality of what the company can offer you. So I don't know how much clear and, like the expectations are, because you have to understand a lot of people are giving up work to work in these type of fields because of videos like mine, as well as other independent contractors are throwing up these big numbers. Sometimes it's not that real or true in many cases, because everything is case by case, state by state, town by town, commodity versus other commodities and things like that. So take that with a grain of salt when you're going out for these companies. Make sure that you know what they're delivering, how much cost per mile that they're offering you, and other things like that you think would benefit you in that setting. Because if you don't ask those specific questions, look at the rest of the videos that I made before, you're gonna feel like you've been lied to. Honestly, you're gonna feel like you've been left out of the conversation. So be really clear and concise when you're asking for what is this particular IC company is offering. The company that I work for was great because it actually just posted what are they offering. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you if you want to go with their system or not, because it's very transparent, right? So some form of 401k medical benefits. Unfortunately, as an IC, a lot of the times you're an independent contractor. Many companies will not be open to having 401k medical benefits because you're an independent contractor. You're basically a 1099 worker. You're on your own. So you would have to factor that in your life as far as acquiring those things. Now there are certain apps and businesses like open source that will have that in there as a value add-on for the company opening it, but it's really up to them if they want to open it, honestly. So keep that with a grain of salt, because you are a 1099 worker. Pretty much you are a sole proprietor. You're doing your own thing. Therefore, you then have to, what you sacrifice in big income sometimes, you don't realize the other things within a regular W-2 job, all the things that you get with that, all the other compensation, the benefits, the things, the this, the that. So keep that with a grain of salt as far as thinking that you're going to get benefits when you go into an IC type of work. Number 3, unfortunately, many IC companies are almost like old style taxi cab companies. It goes day by day. You take it as it comes. So my only advice to you on that is staying really tight with the dispatchers, understanding the times that it's down, it's up, it's this, it's that. Really understanding that from your dispatchers. Talking to the owners, if you can talk to the owners as far as what are their goals. You have to, being a 1099 worker, because you're a sole proprietor, you literally have to do your own due diligence. Don't wait for it. Take the initiative to ask. Take the initiative to spark up those conversations with the owner and things like that. That's one piece of advice I can give to you as far as going to the office, reserving some time, because as a 1099 worker, their only concern is, can I put this in your vehicle and you get going? And you just deliver it, get your paycheck, and boom, that's it. Because, if you're working with a smaller company, yeah, you have more eyes that you can, you have more odds that you can actually talk to the people that are key roles. Bigger companies, I don't know. You might be talking to a manager and they're just concerned are you going to be able to deliver it or not? So really in work-life balance, unfortunately, unless you're getting really good CPM, cost per mile, I don't know about work-life balance, honestly. So just keep that in mind when you're going out there and working, because from time to time there are going to be nights where you're on the road a good portion of times, honestly. Number 4, giving constructive feedback. I never found an issue with this. The owner always said how he felt, which is perfectly fine. And I said how I felt with other operations managers, not over-promising, is telling them what it is. If you want to see 6 figures or high 5 figures, this is what you can do, because I was on track to do that. So, but some people at the end of the day will take it the wrong way. Or some people at the end of the day were people. The way you're coming out of your mouth might not be the way they're ingesting it in their ears or hearing it. So it's one of those things like feedback is feedback at the end of the day. If the manager tells you and you're willing to listen at the same time, it might be a fruitful conversation. But if you have somebody who's a bit um, standoffish and just doesn't want to take any type of constructive criticism, then it's fruitless. It's going to be fruitless. Inclusiveness. So a lot of this never happened to me as a driver, as in like emails and company meetings and things like that, because for some IC companies, that's what you're seen as. An IC is an independent courier or independent contractor, similar to like a taxi cab company, Uber, Lyft, and all those other companies. You don't really meet with other people. And you're not outside of like email blasts that you're going to be a part of. There's going to be no personalized emails that way, unless you are. And I could be wrong. There could be IC companies who run their companies like really tight, but still have ICs. But then again, from my understanding in the world of the 1099, a lot of times they just leave you alone. You either get the job or don't get the job. I could be very wrong with other companies where they're a bit more involved with their 1099 people, but from what I see from other 1099 companies and other IC companies, most of the time, you're treated like, okay, just come to the warehouse, pick this up, here's some instructions, and drop it off, and vice versa. Hey, are you available for this? Are you available for that? That's usually the communication I have gotten when I was in that world. Competitive pay, that really depends on your situation, because at the end of the day, the companies still got to earn money. And during even the gas, the gas hike, a lot of the CPM rates did not really go up because of so competitive pay. That's iffy. It really all depends based on the owner's conversation with the people he's getting the work from. The company I work for, I can tell you right now, the president and the owner tried his best to finagle and negotiate and things like that, but they wouldn't move from time to time, because you're at the beck and you're at the will of the people providing you the work. So staying competitive, pretty much understanding how much CPM it takes to travel, run your own car, and do all the other miscellaneous stuff on top of what everyone is offering. So just keep that with a grain of salt as far as what you want to do, because 75 cents could be the rate around you because gas is worth more money. It might be 85 cents. And in certain areas, it might be only 60 cents. So really understanding the economy, asking around, shopping around as an independent courier in other places might be beneficial for you, honestly, to stay competitive. Because once again, I can't really stress this more. You are a 1099 self-employed person with people giving you work. You have to do your own due diligence and things like that, because it's not going to be given to you like any other job. Like, okay, here's your duties, do this, do this, do this, do that, and you're good to go. You get paid. This is actually you going out there looking for work, staying consistent with work, managing your own time. So it might be a bit rough for you in the beginning if you're not used to that sense of accountability. And it's a high level of accountability, honestly. So the question is, how can you stay competitive when there's other factors that can play around with it? Every job is different. You have to really, really know what your market is calling for to say, is it competitive for you? Because so many factors, play around with that. If you've got a V8, even to the point where, you have a V8 engine versus a diesel engine versus a hybrid engine and things like that. So you're really understanding your market, understanding your like literally that market that you're around. If you have to really see if you're paying you competitively. And last one, orientation process. I tried to create a more of a in-depth orientation process where I would show you the app, go through the app and things like that. But sometimes it was unfortunate that some people, the job was there, it had to be taken, so it was a quick orientation. But at least, at minimum, have those people show you around, like show you how to do certain things. As far as even like key places they always visit, I suggest that you don't get thrown there like in the wild blindly, like, okay, go here, go there it is. And sometimes the GPS doesn't even tell you where it really is. So, take that with a grain of salt. Once again, I don't know how much I can tell you. You're a 1099 worker. You have to think out of the box and really take your shots and really squeeze as much potential with everything you do, literally everything you do, because it's one thing for someone to tell you, okay, you're gonna come in at 9, You're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. So, it's one of those things where within that orientation process, really proactively, what do I do when this? What do I do when this happens? What do I do when this happens? Because as I was interviewing many people, a lot of people are just money hungry without even just looking at the finer details of things. And then after a couple of weeks, they're upset, disgruntled, or whatever, because they were just after that money, which is great when you see other people's paychecks, or your people mention yeah, my guy's making like 80, 90,000, 100,000 a year type thing. But you don't see what's going into it, like what has to go into it, and all those things. So just keep that with a grain of salt, right? Like when you're starting with a company, ask as many questions as you can, because sometimes depending on the structure of that company, they might not have a system in place that is actually you can get walked through, and at the same time, more importantly, some people in the company don't want to help because they're like, yo, you're 1099, you're not gonna last that much anyway, whatever, and then they won't. Some dispatchers won't even give you that much love until you actually prove yourself to some extent. So take that with a grain of salt when it comes to the orientation process. Queen's positive vibrations. How do I print receipts? I personally don't work with Lloydverse anymore because I moved on from there. I closed out my restaurant, so unfortunately I couldn't help you. But before I left using Lloydverse, I do know that they were adding thermal printers to the system. So hopefully that helps. You can find out the thermal printer that goes with Lloydverse and help you on the way to using that system. And Luisita Mateo Francisco, are you still an independent courier? Unfortunately, I told you in the beginning of the video, unfortunately, I am no longer an independent courier. It was a fun journey. I really appreciate it. I am going to come up with some form of ebook that I'll give out for free for you guys, and you guys can consume that. And I'll also still be available for consultations when somebody needs like a A to B or A to Z type run through of what I know and potentially can help you. I'll definitely be open for that. Here's my email down here if you ever want to reach out to me and buy me some lunch, pretty much. Marva Wilcox, do I drink dandelion tea daily? Before I came to Davao, yes, I did. I particularly don't have. I haven't found dandelion tea here in the Philippines. So once I do, I'll probably go back to drinking again. Especially we have a Biggest Loser contest coming up. I look forward to doing that. And from Peppermint Tea, which medical courier company are you using, please? So I get this question a lot, but if I'm in Virginia Beach per se, I was with Cardinal Messenger. Great guys, great team over there. I have nothing bad to say about them. Really awesome team and everything like that. But you got to really check out, where you are and things like that. Here's the link to my website here, courierlisting.com. And I haven't really worked on it, but in the company page, it goes state by state the places that you can apply to or look into as far as potential places to be an IC at. Top 3 tips before getting into the micro lending business Philippines, what you need to know in 2022. So from Zill's Vlog Philippines, says, hi sir, may I ask, what are the legalities for the business as an owner? So when I did lending, honestly, I just did it on a barangay clearance and just like a personal agreement because I'm not moving that much money. If you were moving money, like tons of money, yeah, I suggest you get a limited partnership or sole proprietorship, or just go through the whole filing your articles so you can get a corporation and things like that for it to protect you if you're really lending money like that. So that's one thing I have to say. Legalities wise, I did it on a personal type of loan or lending type of situation. So I would leverage like properties and things like that, but I would have the barangay captain fill it out and things like that. So it's legal per se. So it's legal at least to that extent. Right here, Kevo _ 95. How do you land contracts? I never really landed contracts. Basically, I tried to hook up with other IC companies that had pre-existing contracts already. So that's one route you can go to, or you can go the route of trying to acquire as much new business as you can, which is fine. But understand that there's going to be curve as to when things start becoming consistent. And because I was moving and transitioning to a full-time IC, I didn't have that much time, so I just linked up with another IC company that shelled out the work. Richwood Homes, Isugan Bakong, from Filipino Unicorn. Is there a monthly fee? Yes, there's a monthly fee to staying in that condo. I believe ours is about $16K a month. That is pretty much the amortized mortgage for it, about $16K a month. And I'm sure there's fees and dues and things like that. So I have to we're pretty much taking over and turning over that unit to us in the next few weeks. So I'll let you know as that happens. As that time passes. I don't know if you mentioned this, or maybe I might have missed it, but what vehicle do you drive? How much does it weigh? And lastly, what kind of vehicle would you recommend as a starter courier contractor? So this is a common question I do get. So as I said, I was driving a Dodge Journey. I don't know what the weight was. Probably here's the weight for the Dodge Journey. But a more important question is the fact that what do I suggest you ride? Basically, not to sound cliche, it's whatever what the best thing is for you, because depending on how your situation is and how seriously you want to take it, and understanding when you hook up with an IC, you have to understand what type of commodities they're pushing around or delivering and things like that. Are they focused on Red Cross? Are they focused on organs? Are they focused on just small little boxes? Are they final mile for like Amazon or anything like that? So obviously one of the better answers or generic answers is the bigger the better, but at what cost? Is it going to cost more, gas to fill this thing up and things like that? Me personally, I prepare for bigger things. That's why I got a Dodge Journey. But a RAV4 would do fine, I guess, because it's still gas friendly to some degree. Any hatchback would be amazing. Because to some degree you can fit a lot in there. Any hatchback would be amazing. I would hesitate small vehicle just in case something medium size comes in and you can't fit it, so you're missing out. You might be saving gas, but you might be missing out on bigger jobs. But then again, there's some blood samples that are just super small that needs to go out, and it could be a 4 or 5 hour run. So there's so many things that can happen within that situation. But I think the best thing is for you to understand what the company you're trying to hook up with is delivering. And from Sweet It Is, does 15K per square meter standard wherever you are? Does it vary? Oh, I think I understand what they're saying. It all depends now. Now, it might be a bit more expensive because it's 2023 now. So cement must be more expensive. Wood is definitely expensive. So it all depends. I can venture to say that Manila and bigger metro areas are going to be a bit more expensive because, or they might be a bit cheap because they might be closer to the pier, to the dock, and things like that, or they might have those resources there, as in like the cement place might be there. I know in Cebu there's huge cement, we're finding, huge cement facilities around, so it might be cheaper over there. But nonetheless, I believe it's probably more than 15,000 per square meter now, as far as setting up a house and things like that. So I haven't checked 2023 prices, but I can tell you right now, it might cost a bit more than 15,000 per square meter now. Outside of, you can mitigate certain costs like labor and things like that. There might be families, and it might not be actual architect. It might be just you drawing it out and your people putting it up. It might be lesser. Things change. Comment down below with other questions you have for me, and hopefully, if this is a good response, and I get a little bit, maybe more than 100 views, I'll just create another Q&A for other questions that you want to ask, and be as just ask me. I don't really care, because I'm going to try to be as helpful as I can. So with that said, thank you, take care, God bless, and I hope to see you guys soon, and please don't forget to help grow the channel out. Take care, bye.